I believe truly knowing something with full certainty is not possible. All we can do is have a high certainty that something is true, and we can only do that by being able to explain it further. For instance, we initially thought many stupid things, like taking a mercury pill would somehow cure diseases. Now, they thought this with high certainty because they were stupid. If you question them on why, they'll be able to tell you, okay, we don't know. Now, as time progresses, in many fields, we learn more things, and they get more and more accurate as we start figuring things out. But, so we can explain, okay, this heals you because we know it does this. Then perhaps we do testing, and they say this heals you because we've tested it on a frog, and we know it does this on the frog, and it has similar processes. And the more and more you're able to explain deeper, the more certain you can be that it is a truth, and not just a guess. So I believe we are now in an era where we have basically as high a certainty as we possibly can in a lot of fields. We can explain things and say, we know it is a truth. I can explain that my thoughts on morals are fact, and I can tell you the true based on utilitarian beliefs. And I can explain to you neurology, I can explain to you the concept of joy, I can explain to you philosophical beliefs, I can explain to you how quantum mechanics forms in neurons, which is actually an interesting topic, and I talked about that in the related video. So I can explain to you basically why this, why that, why that, why that, why that, and that explains everything. Except for the fact that I can't, explain, maybe we could be in a simulation, we don't know. Maybe I could be hallucinating all of reality and this isn't real, I don't know. So we can only observe our own consciousness, which is why we cannot, with 100% certainty, no matter what, fully explain anything. So we can't have 100% certainty in anything. However, under the bounds of considerable things we can determine as true, assuming this is correct, we're not in a simulation, there are other consciousnesses and stuff like that. Maybe quantum physics is true, quantum field theory is a correct theory. If we assume these general things, these potentially axioms of sorts, then we can say with certainty some things are true. And we know they're true, and we know what is true and what is not true. Which is why I believe now is a point in time when we can say with almost complete certainty about everything we know is true, and everything we know has high certainty. We know what is true, and we know what we don't know, and we know why we don't know it, and we know why we do know what we do know, and we know why things are true and why things are not true. And we are very certain about all of these things, and we know why some things can't be figured out, etc., etc. This is an era of very high certainty for that reason. That is my opinion on knowing something for certain. Goodbye, and have a great day.